Hello everyone. Today in this session we are going to discuss how to create a digital clock with dark and light mode. Okay, so you need to create a one folder over here. In this folder I'm going to create one file. What does that file means? HTML file and index.html. I'll just keep here inside a body a class name. The class name as light. Inside a body I'm going to take two elements over here. Firstly, I'll go with the heading. The heading which has to display the digital clock. So it is always, starts with 0 only. Then for this heading, I'm going to add one ID. The ID name is clock. And after that, I'll be using button, which is used to change the theme as a dark and light mode. Okay. So these are the things which I've taken to. I'll show you output how it would be looking. You can take any browsers, doesn't matter if you're using Google Chrome, Firefox, whatever. You can use any browsers to display output. Okay, now you see that whatever I have just used, it is always aligning at the left side. By default it is. But I just want to align these things in the center. Then how to do that? Very simple. You have to create a styling. You need to apply some styles using the CSS file. So let's create one file. The name is style.css. This style.css you need to link in the HTML file. Link single colon CSS. By default it is taking it as style.css. In the style.css I'm going to just apply styles for the body first. Body. So I'll just use a font family as sans. Okay, here so many will be there. Sans serif I just want to give. Then I just want to align it in the center. You can use the flex properties. Then align items as a center. Justify content as a center. Done. So let's apply some height for this. 100 BH. Okay. Now if you see, you just reload the page, it is going to apply like this. So what I've taken heading and button. It is aligned in the center. Okay. See here, this is, after this digital clock, it is button will be displayed, right? It is displaying like that. But I don't want that. First, I just want to display digital. Then next, I just want a button. So that I just want to give here this everything. I just would put it in division. Division. This. Okay. For this division, I'm going to use a class as clock box. Now you see, now it is arranged. First it is displaying digital clock, then it is displaying the button. Okay. Then for styling we need to apply not only body, I'm going to apply for heading. Okay. Here I need some transition for the body. Transition as a 0.3 seconds. Okay. Now I just used one class name, that is clock box, for heading and buttons together. I just want to align everything in the center, so text align center. Now you see that it is not aligned in the center, now it is aligned in the center perfectly. Then I'm going to style heading. In that heading, I just want to use font size, let's make it 80 pixels, and after that margin I'm going to add it as 0. Okay, now if you see, can you see that this digital block will be font size will be bigger compared to the change thing. Okay, and now done with the styling of heading. Then I just want to apply for, here I've taken light. This I'm just going to call here. How to call the class name? Full stop light, the class name. I just want to apply background color as white and text color as you already know, black. So light and dark mode, how it will be applicable, everything I'm going to show you people. Then I'm just using here one class name as a dark, the dark background color as hexadecimal colors I'm using it here, #222. Then color as white. Then now if you see here, I'll reload the page. If I click here, anything it is changing? No. And here the digital clock is also, it is not functioning. For functioning purpose, what we are using here is a script file, script JavaScript script.js file. This script.js file is an external file. We need to connect this in the HTML file. How we can connect this? Very simple. Script ;src. What is the file name? You have to put it here as a script.js. Okay, in the script.js, I'm going to use first as function to update the time. Okay, so let's take a function. Function, why it is used? To create a functionality. A show time. Function name I have taken it as show time. Okay, I'm just going to display the date here. New date object. This date is the variable. New is going to create a, whenever we are creating the object, you need to use the keyword what? New, and date is the object which is used to display the time. Okay, and clock also. Let's the time is a variable. Date dot to local, it's very simple, to local time string, which is used to display the digital clock. That is the reason we are using the to local time string. Here I'm going to call document dot get element by id. ID name which I've taken it as in the heading, I've used ID name as clock. Can you see here the heading? This ID I'm calling here. Dot inner text is equals to what I have to display, time. That is simple. This show time function which is going to display the date. Yes, then I'm going to take one more function as a run show time. I'm going to create a run show time. Set interval. So whatever I've taken in the show time, that I'm going to display it over here using the set interval method. In this method, I'm calling the function name as show time. Intervals, you have to set it 1 second, 1000 milliseconds it is. Okay, then after that, I just use a simple theme toggle. For that, I am going to create one function name as toggle theme. In this toggle theme, let's take a variable as body, document.body. Why I'm using document? Because HTML is the document. Inside the document, where it should go, inside the body it should go. That is what the statement meant. If body dot class name, which class I have taken, equals to, in the body I have just used one class name. What is that? Light. Equals to light. Then what should it display? That we need to write the logic over here. Body dot class name equals to dark. Else body dot class name equals to light. Okay, this function I'm going to take where I need to use means here. So in the button, whenever I click the button, it should change the themes. That is what the functionality here. I just use this thing. What's the function name? Toggle theme function. Okay, every file I'm going to save it properly. Now if you see, I just reload the page. If I click here, dark and light mode, it is working. Can you see that? This is a dark mode, and if I click again, it is a light mode in the body. Okay. Okay. Now, if I click here, it is going to change the theme. But see here, is that displaying the digital clock? No. See what we did here. Very simple. In the showtime function, this is what inner text it is. Inner text, in that I'm going to show you people what is the time. The time I just want to display. Now you reload the page. So what's the time? 3:24:26 p.m. So you just click on this dark and light mode. That is also working. Perfect. Now you got to know at least how to create the digital clock and how to create the dark and light mode. I hope you liked it. Thank you.